What is going on, folks? Welcome back to another video. It is Wednesday night and I am here back at track. I think the last video I did was at track, but it is another Wednesday and I am back here and we are 38 days away from Ironman 70.3 Wilmington. Training has been going really great since the last video. I actually had a really busy weekend. It was the kids' celebration, birthday celebration. My youngest, we went to Universal Studios for her birthday. That's what we had gotten her. And my oldest has been wanting to see Hamilton, and it is here in Los Angeles at the Pantages Theater. So we went and saw that on Sunday. So we went down to Universal City, which is about an hour from here. And it happened to be the hottest weekend in Southern California this summer. It was 105 while we were at Universal Studios. And then the next day it was 102. It was just blazing, dressed up, going to the theater, but we had a great time. I got a great run in Studio City and Hollywood. Did 10 miles out there and felt pretty good, even after spending all day long on my feet on Saturday. So far this week, I have gotten in a swim on Monday. Monday's kind of like my recovery day after my long ride, long runs on the weekend. Monday, the only thing I do is swim and get in some recovery, some foam rolling, some stretching, things like that. Yesterday was an indoor training session on the bike, 90 minutes, followed by a 6-mile run, right around 8:15 pace. Then this morning, back at the pool, worked all day today, and now I am here at the track. We've got about 10 and 3/4 mile, 10.75 miles tonight, doing some 800s and some 1200s at 6:25 pace for the 800s, and the 1200s I think are at 6:35 pace. Each one has a float after. So all in all, with a 1.5 mile warm up and a mile warm down, we end up with 10.75 miles. Now there's been a lot of racing going on. We've had a lot of local folks doing races. Santa Cruz was just last weekend, and it got me to thinking about the mistakes triathletes make over and over and over again. I fall victim to this as well. I've made some of these mistakes many times, and even some I continue to make. So I thought I'd talk about 5 or 6 of those today while running my track session. Figure I'd do something different during my floats between my hard efforts.
What's going on?
Yo, yo, yo. How's it going?
Happy track day.
Track day.
Oh boy.
How you feeling?
Better.
Yeah?
A little better. Back's starting to hurt, but
What's next for you?
World champs.
World champs. New Zealand.
Countdown's on.
Woo-hoo. Sweet. How many, do you know how many weeks out you are?
14?
14 weeks out.
First world champs. I'm excited.
And I'm jealous. I would love to be in New Zealand.
I really wanted you to go, man. I really thought you were going to do it.
I'm going to have FOMO.
You are. I might have to make a video just so you get FOMO.
I know. Maybe you should post daily videos just so I can suffer.
Yeah, and I'll bother Tony while I'm at it.
Well, see, this is just your warm-up. You get it out of the way. We got Spain next year, 2025. We're all going to Spain. All right, well, the 800 of round 1 is done. 6:25 pace. Now I am on a 400 float. So I figured while doing this float, should run this around an 8:30, between an 8 and an 8:30. Let's talk about the first thing I see people, and I was victim of this as well in the past, is training every session like it's a race, or not treating the easy days easy and the hard days hard. So many people are kind of always in this kind of zone 3 gray zone. So they aren't working easy enough and they aren't working hard enough on the hard days. And for some people, I really think they need a coach to really help them dial this in, hold them accountable, make sure they are doing the workouts at the level they should be doing them. And along those same lines, more swim specific, I see so many people I swim with putting fins on and paddles on to make the intervals and the time of the swim lane they're in. And ultimately, they're in the wrong swim lane. They're swimming faster than they should if they have to use gear all the time. If this is you, what you need to do, get rid of the gear, move over a couple lanes, increase the interval, but swim more time without gear and swim at the pace you should be swimming. All right, well, number 2, I've just finished the second 1200, so 2 800s and 2 1200s. And number 2 is training and racing nutrition. I constantly see people that have issues with nutrition during races, but what it comes down to is most of them aren't actually training with the nutrition they plan to take in on the race, either the product or just the pure amount. If you're not training your gut in training to take in 90 to 120 grams of carbs an hour, or whatever your target is, and then you show up on race day and think you're gonna consume that and not have issues, you've got another thing coming. So the biggest thing that I've done is, I've used to suffer from this all the time, is I started working with Fuelin. Fuelin app has allowed me to dial in my nutrition, test, perform sweat tests, and it assigns me exactly what my nutrition should be during training. And I've really felt like I've seen improvements since doing this. All right, third 800 done. So let's talk about number 3. And that's just gear preparation, taking care of your gear. I see so many athletes that ride their bikes, next week come back out, it's dirty, chain's dirty, not taking care of their gear, just on a week-to-week basis, as well as just training with the gear you're gonna use during the race. If you are planning to use something during the race, you need to get some time in it, whether it's an aero helmet, a disc wheel, whatever it is. Get out there and train with it, as well as every race week video I do, I talk about a to-do list, a gear checklist, and every race, undoubtedly, never fails. Someone forgets the charging cable, their fuel, their bike helmet, their race bib belt, every time. How do you not have a race list? If you don't have one, you need to start creating a race checklist. Round number 4, 800 is done. 1200 is next. These are clicking off a lot easier than I thought they would. I think I'm holding 625 for the 800s and 635 for the 1200s. So let's talk number 4, and that is practicing your transitions. I've talked about this before. So many people walking out of the swim and just moving so slow through transition, especially the bike to run transition. That transition should be so fast. I watch people go in, put on their socks, put on their glasses, put on their hat, put on their race bib, take a gel, and minutes are just ticking away. You should be able to get out of your bike shoes, rack your bike, take your shoes off on the bike, whatever works for you. All of the stuff you need for the run beyond your shoes should be in your hat. You should be able to pick up all of that, your bib, your hat, your glasses, your gels, everything, and run with it. You don't need to put that on while standing in transition. You can put those items on while running. I'm gonna zoom in on that. All right, well, that was the last 800. That one was a little bit of a struggle. be interesting to see what pace I actually held on that one. Felt like I was hurting to hold 6:30s on that one. It's like all of a sudden I hit a wall. But number 5, the last one I saved for last, is on the mental side. And every race I go to, people are caught up in the fear chatter. Jennifer Volman called it fear chatter recently, and I thought that was a really great way to put it. People get so caught up in everything they cannot control. They're on the Ironman Facebook groups worrying about the weather and the wind and the water temperature and all of these things that nobody can control. They're completely out of your control. You're spending all this energy on that instead of worrying about the one thing you can control, which is yourself, your reactions, your preparation, changing those thought cycles away from negative to positive. Those are all the things you can control. So stop focusing on the things that are out of your control. The day is going to be what the day is going to be. Might be hot, might be cold, might be windy, might be super hilly, might have trouble getting there with travel. You should not be spending all of your time caught up in that fear chatter. I love that, Jennifer. Fear chatter.